very special SiriusXM OutQ presentation where we're going to spend an hour talking to rapper Azealia Banks about her music, her social media presence, and exactly where she's going, hopefully with a very, very long career. I'm Jorge Olivares, and first off, Azealia, thanks for joining us for this hour.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So I need to ask, since it's pretty much fresh on everyone's mind, what were your thoughts on the Grammys? And were you happy with performances, with winners, and just how it all played out?
I mean, I don't really remember too many of the performances, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Who are you looking forward to seeing, if anybody, who is performing?
Rihanna and Kanye, definitely. I liked that performance a lot. I especially liked what Rihanna was wearing.
I know.
She looked really good. She looked good.
The pink, like, quinceañera dress, or the one where she was wearing on stage?
Suit.
The suit, right?
The suit, yeah. Y'all stupid, quinceañera. Y'all stupid. No, the suit with the diamonds, that was mad fly.
Yeah.
And what else? I liked Katy Perry's performance a lot. She's been doing it for me lately. I liked it. I liked her. And I liked the cape she had on.
Yeah.
That was everything.
It was pretty good.
I was like, yeah, fuck it up. Sia was good. Her performance was good, but you didn't see her, but her performance was really good.
When you look to, let's say, not even the performances, when you look to artists to watch for you, what genre do you normally go to? Like
artists to watch for?
Like artists to watch for. Like if you were focusing on a specific genre of, like, you know, is it the rap category? Is it the pop category? Is it everywhere? Because music in and of itself interests you.
I feel like I watch the Grammys like watching the Grammys is just one of those things that we do as Americans, you know? It's like, that's just like a very consumerist thing. Like, we watch the Super Bowl. I watch the Super Bowl even though I don't care about football. You know, it's just what we do. It's just one of those cultural things that we have here. So I feel like I watched it just because I'm an American. You know, it's like, well, this is what America's doing tonight. Like, might as well.
That being said, is there ever a desire to add the Grammy nominated in front of Azealia Banks' name?
I mean, of course, everybody wants accolades and everybody wants all that stuff, but I more so just want to keep making good music. Like, I don't ever want to have like a record that's like horribly reviewed, you know?
And everybody was loving Broke with Expensive Taste. As soon as it came on, all the different... this guy with the New York Times, John Perellis, named it his third favorite album of 2014.
Yay.
When you hear stuff like that, does it make it all worth it?
Definitely, 100%. Yeah.
I will say, so I think it was like early 2012. So specifically, we are here on SiriusXM OutQ, the LGBT channel. And one of the first stories I had to do when I started working here was about this young rapper who was profiled by the New York Times. And at the very end, it says, like, as an aside, like, who identifies or considers herself bisexual. And it was you. Yeah. And so my boss at the time said, you know, see if you can find a song so we can play the song before we talk about the story of this rapper who just came out. And so that was the first time I heard 212. And that was like that same day, I heard it maybe like 145 times.
Oh my God.
Because that song just sticks in your head because it's just so great.
Thank you.
So when you put together 212, or even the lead up to what 212 was for you, what was that journey like?
I was young and broke. I was in high school. I was in art school. You know, I was trying to be an actress. I had this agent. I was going on loads of auditions, trying to just get anything. But I was going on auditions for things that I wasn't really interested in, you know? Like, I was auditioning for Reading Rainbow and, like, PBS Zoom and, like, you know, just all these, like, other random, like, off-Broadway shows and stuff like that. And my heart wasn't really in it. But around that time, I'd started rapping because I had some boyfriend who was a rapper. And then, yeah, like, he would rap, and then I just wanted to rap. Like, he would be rapping with his friends, and I was just like, oh my God, like, I just want to say anything, like, even if it's stupid, just as long as it rhymes and, like, is in time. Like, I just want to, like, spit in the cypher so bad.
How much was it to show up your man, though? Like, you wanted to prove that you yourself could be better.
It wasn't that. It's just one of those things, like one of those stupid girl things, like when your boyfriend's doing, you're just like, I want that. Like, oh, like, you have those sneakers. I want those sneakers. I want to look like you. I want to be like you. And yeah, it just turned out to be really good. And he was like, oh shit, like, you're pretty fucking good. You should do that. And then he called me Miss Banks. Okay. And then I became Miss Banks, and that was my little thing.
What influence, and I'm sure it's a huge influence, but describe what New York City means to creating Azealia Banks and the fire that's behind your rap.
Well, I come from Harlem, uptown, where you're like playing on the streets and playing on the streets with like other kids. Like, you know, you're always out there picking on each other, always out there fighting and doing all that stuff. So when I was a kid, like I was like always like fighting in the streets and like arguing in the streets. Like I had like a very like Harlem upbringing, you know, like. And then I had a cousin in New Jersey, and I would go like in the suburbs and like hang out with her. And then by the time I was like 9, 10, my mother started putting me in programs, so I wasn't on the streets fighting all the time. Like I just used to be on the block like all day, like eating sunflower seeds and eating ices and just fighting and getting dirty and just, you know, when you're a little kid. Are you from New York City?
I'm from Texas, but I live in Washington Heights, and
I live in Washington Heights.
oh, look at you!
Yeah.
Let's go get brunch. And we can talk.
Yes.
So the thing is, there's especially in 212, you talk about taking the Uptown A. So that was like, usually when you listen to music, you find one thing that you can identify with. So when I first heard 212 was when I first moved to the city, and when you said that Uptown A, I just thought, you know what, that's my connection.
Right.
That's what I have to this girl. And so speaking of something like that, music growing up, what connections could you make to songs or to artists? Who was calling your attention at that time? You thought, you know what, if I can have this success like this person, then I've made it.
I never looked at it like that.
Okay.
I was just kind of like, especially with my friends, like I always had to know all the rap lyrics, and I always had to like, whenever somebody came up with a video, like I learned the dance moves and I would like teach them.
Yes, thanks.
Right. Like when Aaliyah would come up with her videos, like I would learn the dance moves, or like whenever Destiny's Child would have a video or something, I would learn the dance moves, and we would just be on the block and like we would perform the video at the block party, like shit like that. And also like my mother worked a lot, and I would just be at the babysitter's house watching MTV all day, you know, and then when she came home, she was sleeping. So I would just be up in the living room watching MTV, like watching Spring Break, watching Real World, like just, and that like TV is really what makes you grow up fast. And I would just watch like all this grown ass TV, and then like when she would go to sleep, I would be on there watching Robin Bird show, like porno, like public access porno and shit. And yeah, and then so my mother worked a lot, and all my babysitters were Dominican.
Okay.
Like all Dominican women are always like the neighborhood schools that my mother put me in, like the gifted and talented neighborhood schools, were always like full of Dominican and Irish kids.
Nice.
So then I just like went to school with all these Dominican girls, and even like one of my best friends now is still like a Dominican girl.
So there's some Latino influence because of course we're talking about Broke with Expensive Taste, your album that's now still available on iTunes. There's a song, Give Me a Chance, that I remember someone said, you need to listen to this song. And I said, no, I'll get to it. They said, no. You need to listen to at least, especially the second part of this song. And so I put it on and I thought, no.
No, she did.
She did not just start rapping in Spanish beautifully, by the way.
Thank you.
And so how much did that play into it? Like the being raised or having babysitters who were Dominican and living uptown where it's heavily Latino. Could you ever imagine anything different than having that part of your life?
No, you couldn't, because I think because Dominican people are black people, you know, and there are all different like races, or they're all different kinds of like black people. And growing up in New York City, you see all those different kinds of black people. I feel like if I just lived in Georgia or something where there's just American black people, then that's just one experience. But when you live in New York City, there's Jamaicans, there's Trinidadians, there's Dominicans, there's Panamanians, there's, you know, Guyanese people, and all these people are black, and they're all different. And that's the common thread that we share, that we're all black people.
Yeah.
And that's how, you know, oh, thank you. That's how I was, you know, able to just even speak like the little bit of Spanish that I do or whatever, because I related to it in that way.
Yeah.
Like they are black, like these are black people.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's listen to a little bit of Give Me a Chance here on Sirius XM Alki. I'm Jorge Olivares, and this is my conversation with Azealia Banks. Let's say, once 212 became the huge hit that it was, how did it change your life? And were you ready for it to change your life the way it did?
I wasn't ready, because I was kind of in a place where I was thinking that nothing was ever going to happen. And I was, you know, working at a strip club and like working at Blue Note Jazz Club, like selling magnets, and like right there on West 4th Street. I was like selling magnets and t-shirts, and things just seemed like really just like dark. And I just thought like things, I don't know, like my life was just like in a weird spot then. And then 212 popped off, and it was kind of just like all my prayers had been answered.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like through worrying and, you know, praying away the worst, like the best came. And when it happened, I wasn't ready to like, and I guess I'm still not ready. I'm not ready to be like, you know, somebody's idol or whatever. Like, I'm just myself. And if you can relate to me and if you can take things from me, then that's great, that I've done my job. But I wasn't ready to like put on airs and be like, oh, like, and there was really no way that I could, because look at all the shit that I was saying in 212. There was really no way. Like, I couldn't go back into hiding and be like, oh, no, I'm not. No, I don't like girls. No, I don't. You know, like no, I don't smoke weed or blah blah blah. Like it was all out there, and yeah, like I knew the song was really good, and I knew it was gonna be big, but I didn't think it was gonna happen that quickly.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was just gonna like float around, and then like somebody was gonna discover it. Like once I had done something else.
Well, let's play 212 for our listeners. Again, this is 212 by Azealia Banks. I'm not ready for it.
Yeah.
Does what part of fame still scares you or bothers you?
What part of it that scares me? The part of it that scares me is that you have all of these people like smiling in your face and looking at you and just like, you know what I mean? Like, just, okay, with any kind of success comes something that like they call the evil eye, you know? And that is like, that's like a form of witchcraft. That's like the most easiest shit. Like somebody just looking at you with like ill intent could really bring you down. And when you, especially when I first came out, just having all these people look at me and like, you know, you can feel like, you could just feel like jealousy, envy, hatred. Like you could feel everything, and it really like took a toll on me, like spiritually and physically. Like I got like really skinny, and it was just like, you know. And you have to protect yourself from that in whatever way, you know, whatever way is possible. Yeah. So I feel like that's what scares me the most. That somebody could come in, you know, and with a mask on, and you know, like come in and like fuck me up or some shit, like fuck my life up, or just fuck my head up or something, you know. Especially when you're an artist, you're so free and you're so like open and just so like your head is open for anybody to put. You're like a sponge for anybody to put whatever they want in your head, and whether you like it or not, that shit sticks to you.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest thing. Like that's why I like stay away from people. Like I'm always in my house. Like I have like a few friends. I keep to myself just because as an artist, I'm very sensitive to energies and very sensitive to just things like that.
How much does sexual identity play into your idea of not wanting to deal with the fame and deal with all that because of some of the scrutiny that comes with being one of the LGBT?
No, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. It's more so really just evil people. It's like fuck. I don't give a fuck what y'all think. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like that. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. I'm not scared of like somebody being like, oh yeah, you're like the angry black bitch who licks pussy or whatever the fuck it is. Like, that's not. I don't give a fuck about that. It's really more just somebody like getting in, some fucking random getting in. Yeah. Somebody that's not supposed to be in there. And yeah.
Considering we are on SiriusXM the LGBT channel here on our platform, talk a little bit about your coming to terms with understanding that you were bisexual and accepting that, and whether or not that changed how others around you viewed you.
It never changed anything, because I went to art school and that was like a normal thing. Like in high school, like all the girls just like played around and all the boys like played around, and that was just like
as you do,
you know, like. And that was just that thing. And I had done it enough times to just be like, okay, like, all right, like, you know, like, I like this. And I guess this is a part of me now. And yeah, you know.
Do you feel accepted by the other LGTs or even the other Bs?
The black and the Latinos ones, yes. The fucking, the white gays be trying to fucking tear me apart. They so evil. I'll be like, oh. And that's why I be fucking with them. That's why I be like, shut up, faggot. Like, shut up. And they be like, oh my God.
So let's talk about that, because especially over the past few days, that word has caused a lot of controversy. For you, first off, define the word and why, and what it means to you in terms of when you use it.
So for me, like faggot, the word faggot came to me from my mother, and it was never a thing of like a guy being gay. You know what I mean? It was always just a man who hates women. That's what we call a faggot. You a faggot. A man, like you could be gay or straight. You could be a straight faggot. Like I know a lot of straight faggots. Like you a fucking faggot. I feel like. Yeah, faggots are like men who just want to bring women down and just like fuck with their head and like control them and stuff like that. Like faggots are like men who don't want you to be independent. you know?
So at what point, I mean, you said your mother would use the word, and I'm assuming because of maybe the culture you're around when you're in New York, because like the ball scene, and then how sometimes people like reappropriate the word and reclaim the word. When you use it, are you reclaiming the word?
I'm not reclaiming it. It's this is the definition of it that's been given to me. This is my definition of it. I'm not trying to take it from you and make it anything else. This is how I use the word. You like, you know what I mean? And also, furthermore, I feel like it's not even that serious. I feel like we're all adults here, you know, and if you're gonna insult another fucking adult, then you get insulted back. Realize I've never called any other gay man a faggot outside of the man who was racist and misogynist towards me. I called Perez Hilton a faggot because he's a fucking faggot. You're a fucking faggot.
And so, but see, so the aftermath of that, and because sort of to put into context, a lot of the times where I hear your music is in gay clubs, and because the beats, I mean, it just makes sense to be played in those areas. And so when I mentioned to my friends, I said, oh, I'm going to get a chance to talk to Azealia Banks on Monday. They said, tell her we love her music, but we're kind of wondering at what point she's going to dial back on using the word faggot. So let me pose the question to you in that way. When you have people, fans of your work and of everything that you do, when they have that in the back of their head about, you know, the Twitter feuds and the use of certain words, how does that make you react?
It makes me, I mean, okay, the fact that they have it in their head, I can't be responsible for your thoughts, you know, those are your thoughts, that's what you think, and that's fine. But I definitely think a lot of the times with like white gay media, especially with female artists, they want you to like in order for you to seem successful or seem feminine or whatever, you have to kind of like desire their approval, you know, like white gay males' approval, like you have to desire their approval. And some, like I read like a really interesting article on Jezebel about just gay male misogyny. I feel like a lot of times gay men can be way more misogynistic than even straight men, you know, even how they come to you like picking at your hair, like telling you fat, telling you all this other shit, telling you how to like be a woman. It's just like, what the fuck do you know about being a woman? Like, I understand that you're feminine and you're sassy and blah blah blah, like whatever, and I'm not knocking you for that, but like, you're not gonna come over here and tell me, like, you know what I mean, like, yeah. I didn't ask you, you know, and so now it's like you're taking it too far. Yeah, you know, you're taking it way too far, because now you're offending me, you know. I'm not sitting here telling you like, you know, how you need to, I don't know, what could I say, like, what could I even say? Because I don't know about being a gay man. There's nothing that I could tell you about being a gay man. But
to play devil's advocate, when you think about certain words that could be used against you that you would find offensive.
But y'all use it all the time. Y'all sitting here, y'all, I read y'all blogs, you know, I read like what the gay writers say. They be like, oh, look at this bitch. She's a hoe, she's a slut, she's this, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, I read what y'all say. And y'all really be like even if you're not using those words, just still like, you know, trying to like comment on this woman's like weight or on her body or whatever the fuck. Like, that shit is wretched.
Do you think, and there was an article, again, we're talking to Azealia Banks here on Sirius XM Alki, I'm Jorge Olivares. There was an article, I don't remember, I think it was maybe Time, and it was written by a black woman, and she said, dear white gays, stop reappropriating or stop taking black culture away from us. Do you agree that that's what's happening?
Yeah, because it's like, you know, especially the white gays, they be like, yeah, honey, oh, let's throw shade, let's have a kiki, all this other shit, you know what I mean, or whatever they're saying. And then you want to turn around and be like, you know, like, oh, you a bitch, you a slut, you a this. Like, oh, you a flop, you a this. Well, all right, if you could call me a flop and you could call me a this, why I can't call you a faggot? You call me a bitch, I call you a faggot. What's the difference?
Do you feel as though because you identify within the LGBT, there's more of a difference in when you use the word as opposed to somebody else?
No. I'm telling you, that's white gay media. That's white gay media asserting itself. And that's just what whiteness does to like color people. You know, it confuses us. It makes you think like, okay, like maybe, like, do I have to be proper? Do I have to, you know, like just speaking like between two colored people, it confuses you, and you know, it makes you like feel like, okay, well, if I don't behave a certain way, or if I don't think a certain way, then, you know, I'm unacceptable. And all people want in their life is to be accepted and feel like they're a part of it or a part of something, you know. And I feel like that's definitely something that, you know, allows people to get like swayed into, oh, like being like, oh yeah, like you shouldn't say faggot, but you say bitch all the time, you know what I mean? I say, and then it's just like, even for the people that are like trying to jump in and be like, oh, you can't say faggot, a lot of them are white women, you know. And it's just like, bitch, what the fuck are you like? Okay, so I just sat here, I said nigga, but you're not standing up for black people and black rights. But as soon as I call this gay man, this white gay man a faggot, then it's like, oh, you're a bigot, you're a hypocrite, blah blah blah. Like, so it's like, what, like, whose rights are you really standing up for, bitch? If you're gonna stand up for the rights, you gotta stand up for all the rights. You gotta get mad when I say nigga, you gotta get mad when I say bitch, you gotta get mad when I say cunt, America cannot pick and choose when it wants to be offended. You understand?
So do you think, so let's say GLAAD, the gay media watchdog GLAAD, let's say GLAAD was, there were far more people of color who were behind GLAAD and still asking you to stop using the word faggot. Would that change how you view the word?
No.
And whether or not you would use it?
No.
So if GLAAD came up to you...
Because no, you know why? And it's not even to be like eye for an eye, simply because I just don't care. I don't care. This is not a real issue. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and what does GLAAD stand for? Gay and Lesbian Association Against Defamation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in my human life, I got bigger problems than worrying about what somebody else fucking thinks of me. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like an antiquated cause. You know, like against defamation. Who fucking cares what people are saying about you? Who fucking cares? I don't care. You know.
But do you think that it affects how people who could potentially be your biggest fans view you and consume your music?
Maybe it does, but I don't care.
So if so many people leave the fan base because your continued use of the word faggot, you wouldn't care?
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care because y'all sit there and y'all be like, yes, bitch. Bitch is a word, you know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, like, well, what about the gay kid that gets the last word he hears before he dies is faggot? Okay, what about the woman who gets beat in her head by her fucking husband and the last word she hears is bitch? Y'all be like, yes, bitch. Uh-huh, bitch, yes. Oh, honey, yes, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Y'all throw that fucking word around. And yeah, like, no, I can't care.
What was the response when you put that on Instagram over the weekend? The response?
I don't know. I just push it. I don't even read. I don't read what they say. But yeah, it's like, cause then that's me like bowing down to that same like gay white male thing where it makes female artists feel like they have to like, you have to be liked by gay men. You know what I mean? So it's like what the, like I have to be like a fantasy of a woman for you so that you could like relate to me or whatever the fuck it is. Like, no, I'm a real person. I'm not here to be like, you know what I mean? Like your diva, your idol or whatever. I'm here to be myself. Yeah. And then that's it. You know what I mean? I don't run around calling gay men faggots. I don't run around calling gay men faggots. The one man that I happen to call a faggot happens to be gay. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I use the word faggot again in reference to myself. Because people be like, oh, you a petty faggot. It's like, I'll be like, I know I'm a petty faggot. Like, it's funny. Yeah. It's funny. And also, like, yeah, I'm a person from like an urban area. Like,
for you, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep, and I can't make it that deep. Yeah, I can't make it that deep because then like if I give y'all that, then I have to give like everybody something. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like look, we're not even gonna make this a fucking issue. We not even gonna make this an issue until y'all stop saying bitch. If y'all could all collectively agree to stop saying bitch and stop like, you know what I mean, stop doing that thing to women where you're like, oh, she's a flop and she's this and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Where y'all trying to make women feel like think about it. Literally, you have a man telling a woman that she's not sexy enough. How the fuck do you even know how to be sexy? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, to reflect the fire that comes from Azealia, let's play Ice Princess. That's off her album Broke with Expensive Taste here on Sirius XM. So to kind of ease what's going on around you and people who seem to, because of your use of the word faggot, want to easily call you a homophobe. Are you homophobic?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. To be homophobic would imply that I'm like, oh, I can't sit next to a gay man because I'm going to catch the gay. Or some shit like I can't sit next to this gay woman because I'm going to catch the gay or whatever. I already caught the gay. You know what I mean? Like I already fucking caught the gay. It's not some shit like that. But it's really, I feel like when I use the word faggot, it comes from like a feminist point of view, not a homophobic point of view. It's really just kind of like you just feel attacked as a woman. Like, what the fuck are you doing to me right now? Like, what are you saying? You know, like really, what are you saying? Like some of the stuff that I read about me, like, you know, written on like gay blogs or whatever, just be like so crazy. Like, y'all be on there calling me broke, but meanwhile you sit there and you writing for a fucking blog. You know what I mean? For $50 a fucking article or whatever the fuck. It's just like you trying to read me. Like,
yeah. Speaking of reading, and no, because the thing that I love is, so off your mixtape Fantasy, there was a song Fierce that heavily includes part of the ball culture and underground. How much does that still, because when I hear these songs, like especially all the songs from Broke with Expensive Taste, I can imagine myself, you know, some category is, and then whatever category it is, and then one of those songs playing. Do you see that when you hear your music?
Definitely, but it also just comes like, okay, so like that gay ball culture, the Black and Latino kids is directly influenced by Black women, you know? That's just me, like just fucking being a nut. Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I sound like when I'm just like feeling myself and just like, you know, like just feeling my shit or whatever. Of course, a lot of like, mostly like all of my friends throughout my life have been like gay boys and Dominican girls. So we all like influence each other and all like, you know, throw around the lingo. And I don't know. It's really like a street thing. Even more than it's a gay thing. It's just like a street kid thing, street New York kid thing.
And do you think that's why people don't get Azealia Banks for who she is, because they don't understand the street, the New York, the Harlem, the bisexual, the growing up uptown with the Latino influences? Is that what you think is playing into it?
Of course, they don't get it. But I don't really care if they get it, because if I try and start like changing it, then the music is gonna change. You know, if I start changing myself, then my music is gonna change, my lyrics are gonna change, and it's slowly just all gonna start to unravel. You know, I have to like keep
hold on to it.
I have to hold on to it.
Yeah. Well, one of the songs that I think would easily play at any ball is Wallace, and so we're gonna listen to Wallace, which is from Broke with Expensive Taste here on Sirius XM. Video for Wallace is coming out?
There's a music video for Wallace coming out.
Okay.
And it's like this interactive video. It's really fucking popping. It's this interactive video. I can't really say too much about it because like I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm always like talking about my projects and then fucking I feel like I be jinxing it just by like talking about them. But I have a video. It's like an interactive video, and yeah, it's really cool. It's like an app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see how that goes.
Yeah.
I love the Chasing Time video.
Thank you.
How much fun was that putting that together?
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun, especially like the Zaina Bane leg things that I had on with the nipple, the pasty.
Yes,
I was living. And the thing was the jacket was Mugler. Oh, that was everything.
So the Azealia Banks, when she was 12 years old, did Azealia Banks, like, did you ever imagine that? Like, that would be your life. You'd be on the set of a music video. You'd release this critically acclaimed album. That was what was in store for you.
No, I wanted to be like Audra McDonald. Do you know who that is?
Oh my gosh.
You know.
Hello. I think you are.
I know. I wanted to be like her, like just like I wanted to be like on Broadway, and then you know just like sophisticated. Okay, well I'm still like very sophisticated, but I wanted to be like just very like you know like prim and like tight and just like you know like I wanted that for myself. But as I became an adult and you know life came at me. You just kind of start to adapt, you know, emotionally, spiritually, physically, everything, you know, and that's the beauty of life. Like the things you think for yourself, and you never know. I could still one day be like on Broadway, like Audra McDonald or whatever. But that's really what I wanted. I wanted to be like some super duper, just amazing Broadway performer.
Okay, with the jazz hands and doing all the different dance moves.
Right, but maybe not the jazz hands. Just like I wanted to do stuff like hair.
Okay.
You know hair. I love hair. I wanted to do hair and like gospel and you know hairspray and things like that. I don't know. Ragtime.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
Look at
She's going in over here. So let's play a little bit of Chasing Time actually off of Broke with Expensive Taste here on Sirius XM LQ. I just wanted to do the snaps and say you're giving it to me.
Thank you.
Is there an effort, like when you go out to show people that you deserve the attention because you're a fierce rapper and you are a part of the game because you deserve to be a part of the game?
Thank you. I don't know. I just kind of like dress to make myself feel like a little like animated. Like I have to feel like I'm like buzzing a little bit.
Okay.
Like I can't like have on anything like too plain because then I just feel like, ooh, you know, then I just feel whack. But yeah, I just have to be like buzzing a little bit.
So tell me, we've been playing songs off of your album Broke with Expensive Taste. What was either your favorite song to record, or as soon as it comes on, you just think, no, that's my jam. That's the one.
Miss Camaraderie.
I love that song.
That's my song. Oh my God. I was so heartbroken when I wrote Miss Camaraderie. I was like in some relationship and it got physical and we broke up. Yeah. And I was just like so just like heartbroken and just so like angry because I couldn't get revenge, you know? Like he just kind of like disappeared. Yeah. And there was nobody to like go beat him up or anything like that. And he's a bitch ass nigga. Like if I would have sent somebody to beat him up, he would have got them arrested. And I was like, I don't need any of my friends going to jail. You know. But yeah, I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot of anger because I was just so mad. That was around the time that I wrote Young Rapunzel too. Okay. And then after Young Rapunzel was done, I wrote Miss Camaraderie, and Miss Camaraderie was just like when you're just like you can't fight anymore, you know, and you're just like, okay, like I have to like I don't know, you're just like it's about that numbness where you're just like begging for like, yeah, like you're just like begging for a new friend. And Miss Camaraderie is just like about like how it, like just like how I would Miss Amor and Miss Camaraderie are both just songs about how I would be, how I'm gonna be with this new lover, and like how the relationship is gonna be and how we're gonna have fun and we're not gonna fight and I'm not gonna get beat up and all this other stuff. And yeah, that's what it was.
Well, let's listen to a little bit of Miss Camaraderie here on Sirius XM Alchemy. The one that kept popping up was, what's this thing about Fantasy 2?
Fantasy 2 is coming. Ooh, Fantasy 2. So this is what I want to do with Fantasy 2, and I'm gonna just tell y'all because whatever. It's already in the works. Like it's already like, so I want to do like a double disc with Fantasy 1. I'm thinking that I want to re-record some of the songs just because like I sound like a little like crazy on some of the songs. Re-record some of the songs, package it up, and have a double disc with Fantasy 1 and Fantasy 2. And the first Fantasy mixtape is inspired by my love for you know anything about Santeria?
Yes, ma'am.
So Yemaya. Yemaya is my orisha.
Okay.
And that like the first time I was doing it, this was like when I was like I would first go like to the Santero and like get my readings and like sit in the misas and all kind of stuff like that. And you know what I mean? It was just like I was just scratching the surface on Fantasy 1. So but I put myself as a mermaid and all that other shit. And now that I know more about it, like I would obviously never like expose any secrets or anything like that. But now that I know more about this faith and about this stuff, it's like I'm gonna bring the second Fantasy 2 is gonna be about Olokun. And Olokun is Yemaya's mother, or you mother father. Like Olokun's kind of androgynous or whatever. So it's like it's gonna be fucking cool, but it's not gonna be like specific. Like I'm not gonna put any like specifics out there. Like I'm not gonna expose anything, any secrets. But yeah, it's gonna be just inspired by that.
If you can
just
collaborate with anyone
deep
for this,
dark energy.
Is there anybody that you're reaching out to, somebody who maybe be well known, maybe who's underground, who you want to help bring to the surface? Who can we imagine being featured?
I don't know. I don't know. I would really like MIA. I like MIA.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I love MIA, and I like her just because she doesn't give a fuck. Like she'd be like, oh. She'd be like, oh, these fucking white bitches. Like, oh, I live for her. She'd be like, oh. Yeah. But yeah, MIA.
Let's say your top 3 favorite people to possibly collaborate with. So you already said MIA. Let's think of 2 others.
Okay.
If you could reach out to them, or if they reach out to you, say yes without hesitation.
Probably MIA and Rihanna.
Okay.
I would work with Rihanna. And
Gaga?
No.
Beyonce?
No.
Missy?
Yeah, I would collab with Missy. Yeah. But I would say Jay-Z. I like that. Those are the 3. MIA, Rihanna, and Jay-Z.
Those would be good. So what else can you tell us that's in store for Azealia Banks in 2015?
2015. So I've been working on that Fable. So the album has all these like weird things, and obviously it's all over the place, but they all correlate in this Fable. And the Fable is kind of strange because I made this whole like creation theory up. Like obviously it's like Azealia smoking a ton of weed and just like sitting at her computer all night. But I came up with some stuff that I think is pretty clever. It's too much to describe now, but it's basically like I created this new society where like humans are this underclass and the like actual class of people are like group of. Do you know what a therianthrope is? A therianthrope is a person that's like half animal, half human.
Okay.
So it's like this weird kind of fable where the whole like ruling class of people are these half animal, half human people, and the whole thing in their society is to control your animal urges and be more human. So you've got all these like people walking around. There's like half hare, half man, half deer, half man, and half dog, half man, and they're all trying like not to bark and not to like walk around shitting all over the place and all kind of stuff. But it gets kind of like Mother Goosey, like it's got all these weird riddles and stuff.
Okay.
And it's real, like it's some drug shit for sure.
As it does. Well, Azealia Banks, thanks for taking some time to talk to us here on Sirius XM.
Thank you for having me.
Again, you've been listening to a special presentation here on Sirius XM Alq. I'm Jorge Olivares. I want to end the show with one of my other favorite tracks on the album, which is called Idol Delilah.
Yeah.
On Broke with Expensive Taste here on Sirius XM Alq.